Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It looks like formally again, Ridge is waffling back to Brook. There's stopgap ahead. There's a plan for Taylor to eventually get her own man, and it's said to be a new Joe. Ridge is poisonous for any woman, because he can no way truly commit to anyone. He'll blin again from Taylor to Brook. But he wouldn't be with Brook ever. He'll blin again. Brook and Taylor would have been better off had they stuck to their ordinance and chosen themselves and continued to be musketeers or at least members of the surviving Ridge support group. Brook will be back to flaunting over her fortune and Taylor will be back to nursing her broken heart, hopefully not a fatal relapse of broken heart pattern. Taylor has been involved with other men, in fact, just about every other man that Brook has been involved with over the times. Taylor will eventually get her own man, although he presumably hasn't been cast yet. She probably wouldn't want to reconnect with Nick since he's another man who still has passions for her ongoing romantic rival, Brook. Eric absolutely not. Taylor's former love happily married, but he also encouraged Ridge to break up with her. So, who does that leave? We're glad you asked. Taylor relationship with Ridge, it seems ready to introduce her to a new man. Who could it be? Still, getting involved with his topmost rival would clearly achieve that, if Taylor aims to get back at her ex-husband Ridge while enjoying herself. Ridge just delivered the least romantic marriage offer ever. Ridge eventually got through to Taylor and induced her to let him go. Ridge didn't mean to hurt Taylor, there's no denying that he indeed did. Taylor conceded in the end and gave Ridge the green light to run back to Brook. Ridge wasted no time in rushing over to Forrester Creations, where he declared he didn't want to lose Brook and handed her a rose. Ridge also asked Brook to marry him, so she accepted and pledged to always be his Logan. Ridge went from being engaged to Taylor to being engaged to Brook the veritably same day, so the result was tacky and gross. None of us should be surprised considering how important waffling Ridge has done over the times. Taylor should have known better than to go back down this road with Ridge because it always ends in heartbreak. Taylor's crushed while Ridge is back together with Brook, but for how long? Will Ridge eventually live to lament his decision and flip bomb each over again? Ridge can no way fail to commit to one woman indefinitely, though his relationship with Brook always comes back around sooner or laterly. Taylor thankfully has another man in her future according to Fall Exercise word, so let's hope she'll break out of this poisonous Ridge cycle, at least for a while. Ridge and Brook's engagement, everyone have been slamming it on social media. It was romantic watching Ridge leave Taylor in gashes and jump right into Brook's joyous arms. The whole offer felt like a failure if the show wanted to vend it as some grand gesture. A rose wasn't enough to make popping the question in the office like that feel special, so it was a giant letdown. We rather have seen Ridge take the time to do commodity a little further romantic for Brook. Hope may be in for a shock when Thomas proposes a reunion between Hope, himself, and their son Douglas. Hope didn't formerly have enough with Carter and Liam fighting over her. It seems that one further competitor is about to join the competition. Thomas is back in city after his and Paris relationship has gone south. It seems that Thomas having an issue with what his mama did to Liam was a bit too important for their relationship. After all, Grace allowed Liam to believe he was dying from brain cancer to steal $1 million bones from Bill to pay for a fake surgery cure. Thomas has come back to make sure that nothing prevents his parents, Ridge and Taylor, from getting married. Thomas has formerly had words with his father about breaking his mama's heart. Thomas also turned to Eric, who obviously doesn't agree with him on the subject. Thomas commended in Ridge that he couldn't take it if his parents didn't reunite. Thomas needs his parents together and he isn't going to allow Ridge to mess this up. Thomas isn't putting the blame where blame is due. Ridge is the one who's threading Taylor along. Brook truly isn't to condemn this time. It would not be the first time that Thomas has fixated on Hope. Thomas has stalked Hope, prevaricated about her son, tricked her into marriage among other effects. While Hope agreed to date Thomas, he chose to rush an offer when all she asked for was time. Thomas also left city and came back engaged to Paris. Effects have fallen piecemeal. A reunion with Hope isn't so far brought considering that they were together ahead. Hope just refused to commit to marrying him. Hope decide that she doesn't want to be with Carter or Liam and find herself back in Thomas's staying arms now that he's free again. Hope prayed Thomas to take her back when he was engaged to Paris. Thomas is free, Hope sees the day and take him back or just string him along again. There was some magnet with Cleric preliminarily. Since he and Sheila are surely not meant to last unless it's the kind of life judgment that ends in captivity, he should be available again soon. Will and the fact that he was sexually assaulted by Luna. And now that he's done the deed with his gal Electra, a lot of suckers see and help but wonder if he's going to come clean to her about what had happened to him just a many nights before. After all, Electra deserves to know the verity. It goes without saying that the internet clearly did have a lot to say about the matter. Taylor induced Ridge to re-evaluate ending their engagement. Also, Taylor had a change of heart. She decided to let Ridge go for good. Ridge called off his engagement to Taylor. He told her he couldn't marry her since he still loved Brook. Taylor prayed him to take her back. She also advised him that Brook would continue to hurt and betray them. She refused to let him go back to that poisonous woman who has a ridiculous hold on his life. Taylor reminded Ridge that he accepted her offer. She didn't push him into marriage, but he looked at her and exfoliated many gashes. Taylor had a moment of clarity. She realized that she didn't want to be a pawn in Ridge's game presently. She didn't want to be the answer for whenever effects went wrong with Brook. Taylor bravely declared that she'd eventually let go of Ridge for good. She believed that he'd lead Brook formally again. Ridge didn't anticipate Taylor to understand his side. He apologized and said that everything had changed in Naples. He realized that he couldn't live without Brook after saving her life. Ridge claimed he no way intended to hurt Taylor. She hugged him one last time as she blubbed. Ridge eventually let go and assured Taylor that she'd be fine. Taylor was thankful for the time they participated together. The engagement proved what they have. But in the reverse of her mind, she knew this would be. She knew that Brook was his fortune. Taylor isn't going to leave Los Angeles this time. She's staying there for their family. Will Ridge and Brook eventually have their happily ever after? Taylor will eventually move on. Thomas is desperately seeking happiness. He returned to make sure that his father didn't break his mama's heart for the third time. Still, he's not going to get his want this time around. Ridge's rash decision could beget his son to desperately seek happiness in his own life. Thomas is back in city, yet we haven't seen him interact with Hope. He's been busy talking to Ridge Taylor, and Brook. Thomas gasconaded to Brook about his father marrying Taylor, but that's no longer true. Ridge broke off his engagement with Taylor. Thomas is seeking happiness. He called off his engagement to Paris and no longer works as the lead developer for Forrester Creations. He's at a crossroads, discerning what will make him happy. For Thomas, that's seeing his parents get married again. That's doubtful to be. Ridge told Taylor that he couldn't marry her because he still loves Brook. But that doesn't mean that Taylor is going to give up fluently. She'll helical and crash out, soliciting him to take her back. As for Thomas, he'll have to look away for happiness as he spirals as well. Hope is presently engaged to Carter, who wants to get married as soon as possible. Liam has been making it clear that he wants Hope back. He wants to get back together for the sake of their son. But this is a cleaner pieces, so anything could be. Hope's love life could get indeed more complicated with Thomas in the blend. He might do anything to win her back, and he might indeed be willing to stay to get married this time around. As B&B suckers flash back, their relationship ended when Hope rejected several of Thomas's proffers because she wasn't ready to marry. Hope will leave Carter and choose Liam or Thomas. These two will fight over her heart. Carter could end up with Daphne, who's willing to pick up the broken pieces, as she's done ahead. Thomas might get hopeless once he learns that Ridge called off his engagement. He could go back to the one woman he truly loved and try to make effects work again. If there was some intentions to do so and we pretend to make it happen, it might get its own flow to operate the speed it gets. Thus these must be assured by the current authorities and check the list of the future consequences. 9. It is so obvious to read the all agreements before we sign the final papers to start the work as flow. Thank you for watching this video. And do not forget to like, comment and subscribe.